Who's the weak link in the group?
Me.
Oh, Mark, that's not true.
Hey,
Not me. I'm a powerhouse.
this is What a Joke
With Tom Papa and Fortune Feimster.
on Netflix is a Joke Radio.
Congratulations. This is a huge thing.
Thanks.
This is a big thing to have a big Netflix thing. You're going global.
Yeah, we're really, really important now. We're a big part of the dialogue.
Since the show came out, I haven't not walked on a red carpet. Let's put it that way. It's just the streets are paved with them now, and
It's
rightly so.
How far is your reach before Netflix?
I can reach like from here to like when I was laying in bed, I could, reach over and get a glass of water, and now I can literally put my arm into the kitchen,
Whoa.
go to the glass, cabinet, get the glass, pour the water, bring it back like this.
Now, just for clarity there, we
Wow.
got so much money from the Netflix show that Broden got surgery and had about 3 other arms attached to his arm to extend his reach.
That was very brave, especially during a pandemic, to go in for an elective surgery like that.
I make no regret. I got COVID, but I have no regrets.
This is the kind of kooky, crazy stuff we get up to on a day-to-day basis, Tom. like the kooky craziness in the show. It's just a reflection of our real lives, Tom.
I quit smoking weed a long time ago, and I always want to go back to it. And when I see stuff like yours or like Tim and Eric or the Eric Andre show, these kind of things, it was the same sense of humor I had with my friends when I was getting high all the time, and it makes me very nostalgic.
I feel like we're like that touch. Like, I'm sure everyone tells us they like to watch what we do when they're high.
Yeah.
But I gave up smoking weed a while ago as well, and I just feel like when I was smoking weed, this would have been just that touch too intense for me. I just would have been like, I gotta go get some nuggets. This is a lot. Everyone tells us it works for them, but for me, I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Yeah.
It's always so interesting to me when people talk about that because we are the three. Like, I mean, we're not straight edge, but we're pretty close. And like, we don't, like our ideas don't really come from our little drug-induced trips, or we don't really do any of that stuff. I mean, we barely drink. So it's always so interesting when like something that has come from such a sober mind appeals to people when they're kind of, trying to expand their horizons, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think you guys, what's so cool about your comedy that it's not so straight ahead is that you play with timing, you play with the form. So like when I think it was Mark, you were sucking on the noodles, and it was like, like that kind of a moment. You can understand why if you're high and you're lingering there, nobody else would linger in the moment of actually eating a noodle. You'd move on to whatever the joke was, but you take this moment and make it into a joke. And if you're high, you're like, why are we staying here? I don't know, but it makes perfect sense.
What does Mark have? Broden's leftover noodles or noodles left over Broden's? Surely Broden won't mind if I have one noodle. It's one noodle. One noodle. One noodle. One noodle. One noodle. Come on, it's one noodle. One noodle.
When you guys were younger, were you into absurdist, kind of like different paced, alternative kind of comedy, or were you fans of like straight ahead stuff that was...
I think I'm more into the straight ahead stuff now than I was when I was a kid and a teen. I think now I'm because I've been doing it for so long, and I've been watching this sort of strange alt comedy for so long. It doesn't shock me. It doesn't surprise me as a creator of it.
Yeah.
So I don't really like laugh anymore. So what I really enjoy now is just a really well constructed joke. So I love 30 Rock. I love Kimmy Schmidt has a really weird dark edge, but I love just a really well written, well performed.
I remember very, very vividly being like 10 and like flicking through cable and Monty Python and the Holy Grail being on, and I never heard of Monty Python. My parents were like, "Oh, you should watch this. I think you'll like it."
Yeah.
And I'm like like vomiting from laughter because I was like laughing so much. And just like not understanding any of the jokes, but just feeling the sense that something funny was happening, or like it was that kind of, it was not being done through, this is a smart joke. It's like just the repetition of a shot or a character's really big, or what they're focusing on is really, you know, stupid. And I remember just feeling such a connection to it, as everyone did every time that Monty Python, you know, anyone discovers them.
Yeah. What is it about that? And I was thinking about it when I was watching you, like people who hook into you, it's the same way that you're explaining Monty Python. When you see something that's a little different, there's like this loyalty that you have. 'Cause I had it too as a kid. When something's a little weirder and a little, you kind of like latch into it and make it your own in this devoted way.
Yeah.
That you don't with other straight ahead stuff.
No, especially when other people hate it. Like I had that experience when I discovered Tim and Eric, because I was very hungry for like alt stuff when I was younger in high school, and I wanted to find it all.
Smoked a joint.
Pardon? I smoked a joint.
And he was hungry.
Filled with
I cooked
bacon.
all this bacon. But like, you know, the first time I discovered like the Mighty Boosh and things like that, it was all very, no one had really heard of it. You know, the internet wasn't really a thing. So it was always on like burnt DVDs that my brother's friend had like passed down to him, and then he'd passed down to me. And that's how I was discovering this stuff. And with Tim and Eric, the first time I found it, and then like, you know, realized, found a few little bits and pieces very early on when YouTube was in its infancy, and then rushed to, you know, like our local DVD, CD store and found out it was a TV show and pre-ordered it, and then got the first season the fucking day it came out, you know. And then I remember going and like putting it on and showing all my housemates. I think I just started uni when the first season had kind of landed in Oz. And no one in the room but me laughing. And I was just like dying. Like I was like keeled over, and everyone else was mad, right? And it's like, and that did two things for me. One, it emboldened me as to how much I loved it. It made me go, you're all wrong. And I feel special. I was like, I feel special because I get it and you don't, right? And like, and that's made me love it even more. And based on the reaction we're getting in terms of the extremes of how much people like it and how much people dislike it, it's fascinating to me, because I'm like, if we've created something like that, that's really special to me. Really special to me.
So special.
Personally.
I know. Like if you really try and cast a wide net and make everybody happy, people will kind of like it, but it's not that ravenous thing of like, I fucking love this.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a casual thing.
Yeah, I think fans feel a certain responsibility when they see other people not liking it. They go, "Oh, well, I'm the one that's making this happen." Because if other people hate this, when it goes out and my parents or my friends go, "I hate this," then I'm the one that's going to keep this going. I'm the one that's going to convince these people to keep making it. So it forces them to like engage in a way that they maybe wouldn't if it's like, well, everyone likes it, so it's going to keep happening forever.
Right.
I think that's, you end up with, our fans are like intense in a way that I've not seen in comedy before. Like I think we have maybe Mighty Boosh had a bit of it. But we have just an intensity of fandom that's like so cool and so supportive and so intense.
What do they look like when they're in line coming into a show?
You know a Donna fan. I know a Donna fan. If I get on if I get on a train, or if I'm walking down the street, like, a Donna fan is 3:00. He's 200 meters from me and he's about to say hello. Like I definitely know how they look.
Yeah.
They look, and sometimes they look like us, and sometimes they look like the exact opposite of us. But they definitely have a smell. And it's not necessarily bad, but it's but you know,
It's a mark.
I know when they're near. Yeah.
You literally had me at this funny moment yesterday where I was traveling, and I came back from the East Coast here in the U.S. and I came into the pantry. I cook a lot, and I go into the pantry and I'm just checking stuff out to see what we need. And there's all these cans of beans. Like there's been multiple purchases of beans.
Isn't it funny
funny and relatable when you want to buy a can of beans, but you don't know if there's beans at home, so you buy like heaps of cans of beans, and then you get home and in the cupboard you've already got 5 cans of beans, and you laugh and laugh because there's too many beans.
That's so relatable. Ha 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 ha. What about when you go to Hotmail and Hotmail asks for your password, but you can't remember, so you make a new one, but you can't use that because Hotmail says that your new password was your old password, so you knew your password all along.
That is very relatable.
Ha 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 ha.
And isn't it funny when you're eating coq au vin at a Chateau de Chambord and Centimetre D serves Cote de Rosé, which is a subtle one and not robust enough for the flavor of the dish?
Not very relatable.
I don't relate. Personally, not relatable.
So Ed Helms is involved. He's an executive producer. What's wrong with him? What's his problem?
Oh,
He
lots.
just-
Where do we start?
yeah.
My God.
We have to like we were desperate to get a show in America. We wanted to crack America, you know, like you know, and we were desperate. And he said, well, if you really want to get a show over here, you got to wrestle me. And he took off his shirt and he oiled up. And this is just in Hollywood at their office, and we had to like he said one at a time. He said, you got to take me, and one by one we had to wrestle him.
He fucking demoralized us. He demoralized us.
Well, he was a state champ, wasn't he, in high school?
He was really good at wrestling. He let me win though, and that was really strange. So he clearly let me win. And
Yeah,
just
'cause-
what that did internally to the group, to the three of us, because they lost, it just created this tension, and I think he kind of got off on that.
Because he went first. Zach went first. And so he was like, so what I think the sick freak was thinking was he was like, if I let them think that they can beat me, right, then they're going to come in with all this confidence, right? So I'll throw the first match. And then he just proceeded to power slam Broden and I into his coffee table so many times. I have 11 herniated discs.
Yeah, I wish we had done this interview earlier because I could have told you that because he's legendary for that move.
Oh, God.
We got to get the show back on the rails.
Okay.
Okay, because it's off the rails.
A little.
Okay.
Yeah. Ed, what is it that you treasure?
Get in the
Did you come out of Hollywood hustling?
Get in the car.
All right, he's swearing.
Ed.
You guys proud of yourselves? Because you blew it. Do you think this is what executive... God,
Sorry.
Zach?
Sorry.
Do you think this is what executive producers do?
I don't really know what exactly executive producers do.
Well, the answer is no. Okay, an executive producer, you come to set, you just smile, you shake hands with people. You don't rescue a cast that's gone completely AWOL.
We just thought it would be really funny to like break the form.
What?
Mark?
I can't hear you, Mark.
What Mark's trying to say is we're sorry. Yeah, all right. Ed Helms is a bad man.
He's a monster.
Yeah, in so many ways. He
He's
really
all
is.
He's all right. He's all right.
Oh, that guy.
He's all right.